What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Roswell Mini K67x. This is the third mic in the popular Mini K series, and it's the first that features a K67 style capsule and a transformer that adds pleasing harmonic saturation to anything you record. Let's take a closer look. So here's the case for the Mini K67x. Of course, we get the mic, cutaway shock mount, mic sleeve, mic stand adapter, and extra rings for the shock mount, which is always nice to have. Alright, so what makes the Mini K67 special is if we open it, on the back here you can see we have a massive transformer. And I'll tell you right now, I have seen smaller transformers in more expensive mics. Does size matter for transformers? I'd like to think so, but not 100% sure on that. But let's check out how it sounds. So for the first example, I've got a vocal here from Simone Curry, and it was of course recorded with the Mini K67x, and the preamp we used was the Blackline Audio Auteur Mark III. And of course, no other processing on this vocal. This is the raw vocal as it was recorded with a little bit of reverb.
Before I close my eyes, and every time I see the sunrise, yeah. Before the pressure's on my mind, I gotta take a look at my gut. And now it keeps defying the odds. You supply me with my needs, okay. And even when I still complain, I'll never know how or why in the world you've been.
Alright, so here we have a very smooth sound. Very pleased with how this came out. The top end, a lot of microphones I got to add some top end to. I don't feel I need to add any high end to this. And let's listen to, I'm going to play it from about here because she's about to get loud. And I didn't use any compression when I tracked this, and you can really hear the harmonic saturation that you can get from this microphone when you hit it hard.
Good to me, you're so good in all your ways, Yahweh. Can't compete, no, your love will never change, no way. Don't even know how it's gonna work out. Stroking my hands in my pockets, look around and somehow you're good to me. You're so good in all your ways. Good to me, good to me, good to me, good to me, yeah.
So one thing that immediately stood out to me with the Mini K67x is how smooth and open the top end is. I don't feel like I need to add any high end to this vocal if I was mixing it. And it's fairly common for me to have to add high end to vocals. So I really love the high end on this mic. For the saturation that we heard, it was really the perfect amount of color for it. A lot of times when you add too much color, you start to lose clarity. So we got a great balance between color and clarity here with this mic. All right, let's move to another example. All right, so let's check this out on some rap vocals now. This is an artist named Khan, and the mic pre we used here again was the Blackline Audio Auteur Mark III. All right, so we've got this first section here is the hook, and this will let you hear how this mic stacked, because we stacked a lot of vocals here for the hook, and then I'll play a little bit of the verse, of the lead vocal in the verse.
Let's just make a beat. I love it when you rock with me. I bring that boom, that bap, that kick. You said that this gon' be our shit, and by the time I bring that bass, we got that, we got that, we got that shit. That slap, that snare, that clap, that freaky, funky shit. We on that.
Vinyl still banging, but the shit's so old. She say I'm the best and I still ain't sold. Down short shorts and it's way too cold. Try to fuck me on the first, man, the bitch too bald. Man, that bitch too raw. Been stressed out trying to study that law. Before a case study, she said she gonna love me. I told her she the one.
All right, so with that, I'm hearing again a very smooth sound, very forward sound too. I noticed that this compared to the other Mini K mics has more of a forward in your face sound. That very well could be because of the transformer there in it. But the vocals that we had to stack here, with some other mics, when you get to stacking vocals, you'll hear some EQ that needs to be done just because tracks don't stack well. But this here sounds smooth. Again, a very smooth sound that we're getting from this. And the high end, again, I don't feel like I need to add any high end to this. It's just nice and smooth. All right, let's check out another example. All right, so I've got a singer-songwriter named Me, and we've recorded her singing and playing acoustic guitar at the same time. We got 2 tracks here. The top track, the purple track, is the Mini K67x going into the Black Lion Audio Auteur Mark III. And the bottom track, the blue track, is going through the PreSonus Quantum. And this is so you can hear what this mic sounds like going through an audio interface preamp. We're going to start with the Black Lion Audio Auteur Mark III, and no processing on this vocal, just have a little bit of reverb.
Looking from the outside in, you know it's not the same. No, just promise you'll never let go like Rose. Without you around, my heart grows cold. I'm frozen and floating on emotional waves, trying to find my way.
All right, and now through the PreSonus Quantum.
Looking from the outside in, you know it's not the same. No, just promise you'll never let go like Rose. Without you around, my heart grows cold. I'm frozen and floating on emotional waves, trying to find my way.
So both of these sound really good, and while I'm not a fan of audio interface preamps, this mic going into the PreSonus Quantum, I'm not mad at that recording at all. And I feel like we're getting a very consistent sound with this mic as well throughout all of these examples, which to me means that this is a reliable mic that will work on most sources or work most times that you go to use it. All right, let's check out one more example, which is acoustic guitar. So here's some acoustic guitar going through the Mini K67x into the Black Lion Audio Auteur Mark III. All right, let's give some final thoughts on the Mini K67x. Before I give my final thoughts, I do want to point out that while I mostly showed this on the Auteur Mark III, I did use this mic with other preamps. It's just things that I recorded that I'm not able to share. But I used it with the Rupert Neve 511 preamp, Phoenix Audio Ascent 1 EQ, and the MicTech MPA 201 and a Avalon 737. So transformer-based preamps, solid-state preamps, tube preamps. I've tried them all with this mic and got great results with all of them. Nothing I recorded on this I felt needed a ton of EQ, which is great. It just makes mixing so much easier when you're able to record and get a great sound and not have to do a bunch of EQing. But final thoughts on the Mini K67x. This is absolutely my favorite Mini K mic for vocals. The saturation that you get is not too much. It doesn't add too much color. It's just a nice balance there, a nice amount of color that you get because, you know, like I said, a lot of times when you're adding color, you're losing clarity at the same time, and you just don't get that with this mic. Another thing I want to point out is that on vocals, they sit more in your face, and compared to other Mini K mics, the Mini K87 I feel sits back a little bit compared to this one, and with the Mini K87 I generally want to add high end to it, whereas with this one I don't. So That's why I'd say this is my favorite Mini K mic for vocals. I mean, besides that, I don't have anything negative to say about this mic at all. And while I think this is a great overall mic, I think especially if you're recording directly into your audio interface, this mic will help your sound a lot, especially because of the transformer, the coloration and saturation that you can get. You don't have to rely on a mic pre to give you that color when you can get it from the microphone. Let's talk price. So this comes in at $479. And I really think Roswell wanted to keep it under $500, and they were able to do that. And hopefully they'll continue to keep it under $500 with inflation and everything going on right now. We've definitely seen a lot of pro audio products jump in price. So to see this under $500 is really good. It is the most expensive Mini K mic, but transformers cost. So definitely expected that. And lastly, I will admit that I've always felt a certain type of way putting up Mini K mics for vocals because of their size. And, we're so used to using these big microphones on vocals. And I always felt like the artist would say something, but they never have. But with the Mini K67x, I have no embarrassment about putting that small mic up for vocals because it just sounds fantastic. And I'll answer the question for those who may have a Mini K47 or 87 and wonder, do you need this one? That answer is yes. This is a very different sound than the Mini K47 and the Mini K87. It complements both of those, so you don't have to feel like you're getting another mic that's the same as something that you already have. This is definitely a different sound, color, and texture that you get from the other Mini K mics. So there's my review of the Roswell Mini K67x. Definitely comment. Let me know what you think of the examples that I shared on this mic. And I have a link in the description if you want to check this out, learn more about it, or pick it up. And if you like this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to continue to see content from me, then you know what to do. All right, any questions, comments, let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time. I invite you to check out my podcast, the Faders Up Podcast, a podcast about pro audio and beyond. Season 3 is now underway, and in this season, we'll be doing a lot of topics requested by listeners. So if you have a topic you want to hear discussed on the podcast, email us, DM us, or join us in our Facebook group, Faders Up Podcast, and let us know. And if you haven't checked out the podcast yet, I have a link in the description that'll take you to the page.